Coleridge as a critic of William Shakespeare. Coleridge as a critic is concerned with the problem of creation of a work of art. He thought over the factors which give birth to fine piece of literature. In this respect, he was unlike the critics of the 18th century. The critics of the 18th century were concerned with the writer and his works. The 18th century critics judged Shakespeare on the basis of his performance. But Coleridge as a critic is not concerned with the feelings of Shakespeare as a writer. He is concerned with the merits of Shakespeare as a writer. Coleridge read Venus and Adonis and Lucrece and discovered four prominent symptoms of poetic power in William Shakespeare. He states that the first excellence is the sweetness of the versification on the part of Shakespeare. Shakespeare was capable of delighting in the sweetness of sound. Coleridge considers that a sense of musical delight is a gift of imagination. It is born with a man, that is why he holds that it may be cultivated and improved but can never be learned. Shakespeare had it in abundance. Coleridge says, "The man that hath not music in his soul can indeed never be a genuine poet." Secondly, Shakespeare always dwelt upon subjects very remote from his private life. It is a great merit on the part of Shakespeare. That is why Coleridge has said, a second promise of a genius is the choice of subjects very remote from the private interests. Shakespeare always kept himself away from his characters like God in his creation. He is felt everywhere but seen nowhere. In the words of Coleridge, you seem to be told nothing but to see or hear everything. He maintains utter aloofness from the character of which he is the painter. Eliot has praised it in the following words: "The greater an artist, the more separate in him will be the man who suffers and the mind which creates." Thirdly, Shakespeare was capable of coining beautiful images, but an image is not important in itself. It cannot be a proof of genius. In the words of Coleridge, they become proofs of original genius only when they have the effect of reducing multitude into unity. The images of Shakespeare are capable of uniting a host of passions and feelings. His images burst upon us at once in life and power, unaided by any previous excitement. Full many a glorious morning have I seen flutter the mountain tops with the sovereign eye. The last great quality of Shakespeare, according to Coleridge, was depth and energy of thought. Coleridge says that a man cannot be a great poet without having a great philosophy. As Coleridge believes, poetry is the blossom and fragrancy of all human knowledge. Coleridge says that Shakespeare was the master of human passion, emotion, and thought. He gave vent to all these in his writings. That is why he stands alone with no equal or second in his own class. Even Milton could not be a rival in his field. Milton was a great poet, no doubt. He presented all things in a new light, but according to Coleridge, Shakespeare becomes all things, yet forever remaining himself. That is why Coleridge is full of praise for Shakespeare. In this respect, he differs with the 18th century critics. 18th century criticism is an account of feelings and beauties of Shakespeare, whereas the criticism of Coleridge contains only praise for Shakespeare. He exclaims with wonder for the qualities in Shakespeare. Oh, what great men hast thou not produced, England, my country! The 18th century criticism aims at finding out how far Shakespeare has succeeded as a dramatist, but Coleridge has tried to point out how far he has understood Shakespeare. He is not concerned with the failure and success of Shakespeare. He is concerned with his own impression about Shakespeare. He is not concerned with the failure and success of Shakespeare. In this respect, he is highly subjective. He is not guided by external rules of the ancients. He is concerned with his intuition. That is why we find novelty in his criticism. He does not tread a beaten track. He delights in discovery. It is a salient trait of all the critics in the 19th century.